visit the family. Words are made of letter people. A, B, C, D, follow me.
The Letter People. Today, the Hall of Fame. A review.
The detective here, super sleuth, seeker of truth, and part-time night watchman here at the Letter People Hall of Fame. Yes, the Letter People Hall of Fame. A place dedicated to the memory of great and sometimes silly events that have taken place right here in Letter People land. At first I took this job because I work alone. That gives me the chance to practice wearing all the clever disguises I need for my detective work. But I soon found out that the Letter People Hall of Fame is chock full of great stories. Think I'll check in on one of my favorite nighttime displays. Yes, it looks like everything's okay. People who have trouble getting to sleep should visit Yawning Mr. Y's display. I remember when Mr. Y first arrived in Letter People land. No one could believe how Mr. Y could fall asleep at the drop of a hat. In fact, Yawning Mr. Y fell asleep at the drop of just about anything. And he knew his sound, too. Only trouble was, Mr. Y was bored. He stood only at the start of words. But Ms. I thought of something to cut down on Y's ceaseless yawning. A deal whereby Mr. Y could stand in and make Ms. I sounds in the middle or at the end of words. That kept everyone awake. For a while.
Oh, dear. He is bored, isn't he? Mr. Y, wake up.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be impolite.
Ms. I thinks you should work as a vowel sometimes. That way you could be in a catching clue box in the middle of a word. What do you think of that?
I'll do anything to be in another part of a word.
Good.
I'll be the happiest person in Letter People land.
But he's a consonant. We want him. But he could work with us, too. Consonant. Vowel. Consonant. Vowel. Consonant. Vowel.
Stop it, both of you, before you pull poor Mr. Y apart.
Gosh, it's great to feel wanted.
I agree with both of you. Mr. Y should use his consonant sound when he starts a word, and at other times he should work as a vowel. But whose vowel sound will he use, Ms. I?
Mine. When Mr. Y is in other parts of a word, he can use my sounds.
Very, very good. I like that, don't you, Mr. Y?
Do I like it? Yippee!
Looks like the janitor forgot to take out the trash. I'll have to speak to someone about that. Oh, no, wait, that's not junk. It's Mr. J's display. A beautiful collection of, junk. Mr. J's sound is the same sound that starts jumbled junk. Besides running a first-rate junkyard, Mr. J is quite a song and dance man. So's his pal, Officer Jasper Jabberwocky.
Jumbled junk man, any old junk you threw with, I know just what to do with. Jumbled junk man, give me an old jalopy, give me your junk.
Officer Jabberwocky and Mr. J helped Mr. G out of a bad spot once. Mr. G touched the famous genius gem and disappeared. The gem will make anyone whose sound is not the same as their name vanish. Good thing Mr. J offered to share his sound with Mr. G before silent E and sometimes before E or I. Mr. G got to make the jumbled junk sound in words such as cage, The solution kept everyone very happy and easy to see. Now here's a pretty snappy display. Enough rubber bands for all the ponytails in the city of Indianapolis. Mr. R's display reminds me of the worst music I ever heard. Electric tuba, rubber bands, and typewriter. At least Mr. R had a good time ripping his rubber bands. He thought it was out of this world. But it made me wish for a sonic boom. Mr. R, besides being a pretty good rubber band ripper, also was quite skillful about his sound. The same sound that starts ripping rubber bands. And even though Mr. R knew that rain starts with the same sound that starts ripping rubber bands, he didn't know enough to come in out of the rain. Mr. R thought a lot of things were out of this world. I guess that's why he was chosen to go out of this world and to travel to the planet Snickers after Ms. A had been kidnapped by Empress Mung. It was during that caper that the letter people learned how to use this. No, it's not a two-car garage. It's the divided catching clue box. It's a good thing Mr. R found Lucky Star on his trip. Lucky not only helped Mr. R hear his name, R, in words, but he also guided the rocket ship and sang a very cosmic song.
Mr. R, you can say your name in many different words. In many shapes, many sizes. From spark to bark, to cart to heart. Your name has so many disguises. I ride through the sky on that bright light way up high. On a clear night you might see me. I'm not a dipper or a saucer or Mars. I'm a star. I'm a lucky star.
When Mr. R and Lucky Star found Ms. A on the planet Snickers, they showed Empress Mung how to use the divided catching clue box. Ms. A got to go home, but Empress Mung had plans for Mr. R. He stayed on Snickers. So did the divided catching clue box.
Hey, I can even make Mr. S and Mr. T sounds, so we can play the catching game.
What a magnificent power to have, Lucky Star. What a friend you are. You can use your marvelous magical power in the starting squish box. I'll stand beside Ms. A in the divided catching clue box.
I can't wait. I've had this divided clue box here for years and have never been able to make it work. Go ahead, make it work.
Star.
Ooh, again.
Star.
Wonderful.
You see, Your Highness, with Mr. R standing next to me, we make a completely new sound. A sound without my long or short sign.
A sound that is my name. I love it.
Oh, I do too.
And now, Your Highness, Ms. A and Mr. R want to get back home. Can I show them the way back to the spaceship and set it on its course?
Yes, Empress Mung. You promised.
Of course, Miss A may go. Take her home, Star. She was superb. I may even name one of our moons after her. A moon.
Not long after Ms. A was on her way back to Letter People Land, Ms. O was kidnapped by Mung's sidekick, Mugu, and brought to the planet to help find still another way to use the divided catching clue box. Empress Mung was very happy about the or sound.
Oh, here's a lovely sound. Miss O, please, step into the clue box.
Oh, all right. Anything to oblige a hostess.
Mr. R, you too, please.
Of course, Your Highness.
Now, let's hear it.
We'll try.
Or.
Yes, I can hear it now. There is a new sound I can make when Mr. R stands beside me in the clue box. And it's a word, too. It's the word or. And it's a sound, too, for other words. Words like corn and horn. Delightful.
Yes, it is delightful, isn't it? Why, if Mr. F were here and in the starting clue box...
And Mr. T in the ending clue box.
We'd make the word fort.
Yes, the or sound made Empress Mung happy. It made her very happy. Not happy enough to let Mr. R go home, though. Ms. O managed to escape with Lucky Star, but poor Mr. R was left behind, still held prisoner by Empress Mung. It was about that time that Ms. E, Ms. I, and Ms. U walked into a restaurant in Letter People Land and disappeared. They didn't know it then, but the restaurant was actually one of Mung's spaceships. They, too, were on their way to Snickers. Empress Mung wanted even more sounds. But when E, I, and U arrived, Mr. R was too tired to make 3 new sounds. So the letter girls asked him to make just one new sound, the sound. It worked with all 3 letter girls.
Now let me see. Ms. E. The sound we'd make together would be the sound in fern and germ. And Ms. U would help me make the sound in turn and burn. Ms. I, we could make the sound in bird and girl and skirt. Wait a minute. Fern and turn and bird and germ? Why, yes, I think it works.
Now we have got a sound we can share, a new sound all our own. With Mr. R, at last we're found. We'll give the Empress our one new sound, then we can go home.
Turn up the music.
The new sound made Empress Mung happy, but not that happy. She figured that 3 kidnappings for just one new sound was a bad deal. So she sent them all back to Letter People Land. Mr. R was finally going to get to go home. As a lovely parting gift, Empress Mung gave the divided catching clue box to the citizens of Letter People Land. And that's how it got here. The divided catching clue box. One of the best displays in the Letter People Hall of Fame. Yes, the Letter People Hall of Fame. It sure brings on some golden blasts from the past. There are 119 stories to be told in Letter People Land. Who knows? Maybe more. Someday, these empty displays will be filled with more stories. In the Letter People Hall of Fame.
Come and visit the family. Words are made of letter people. A, B, C, D, follow me.